It's time for the Drugless Doctor. Call a friend or family member now and let them benefit from today's exciting and life-changing program. If you want to lead a healthier life, the time is now.
Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Dr. Anthony, and Dr. Casen DeMaria. I'd like to welcome you once again to our half-off health program. And today's segment, we're going to be discussing something that impacts nearly 50% of those of you who are what we call, quote-unquote, middle-aged. That is sleep deprivation, insomnia, but you're not getting restful, peaceful sleep. And we're going to give you information today that'll literally change your life. Sleep is important. We all know that. Sleep's important because that's when your body will perform repair and tissues get a chance to rest. And your body definitely goes through a total rejuvenation. Now, here's something that I want to pass on to you. We can, by asking you a couple questions, know if you've had restful, peaceful sleep by answering this question correctly. Should you wake up in the morning hungry, or should you wake up in the morning full? You really should wake up in the morning with the desire to have breakfast, because we know that your body is making growth hormone. I'm going to encourage you right now, go to your internet, go to our website, which is druglessdoctor.com, and DRS.com, and go to the word blog on that link and look at today's outline. And you could be doing this anytime because these programs are on the internet. You could just navigate around. We have all of our programs with outlines for them to make a difference for your life.
You know, it's really interesting when it comes to sleep. Sleep is one of those areas that is so super important for individuals, but when we've had discussion and other engagements for education, we find that most people are having a hard time sleeping now today. And if you look at the average night's sleep over the last 50 years, it went from about 9 hours of sleep in the 1950s down to around 7 or even 6.5 as the average American adult gets, when our body really needs at the very minimum at least 8. So when it comes to science, sleep is one of the least understood areas as far as what takes place inside of our body. There's a lot of different theories when it comes to sleep, and there's a lot of studies that have been done on people when it comes to sleep. But today, we want to talk about some of the areas that could be causing you to have some sleep dysfunction. I know that Dr. Bob touched on it, but sleep is such an important time so that your body's, your nervous system, your immune system, your muscles, your hormonal system is all regenerating when you're sleeping. So if you don't get proper sleep, you're going to have a whole variety of challenges that I know that Dr. Casen is going to talk about.
So this is the brain, and a lot of people do not realize that lack of sleep could cause symptoms like ADHD, memory loss, hallucinations, tremors, aches, all kinds of things from not getting enough sleep. Also, our bodies are healing and regenerating, and it only takes a process of time before your body starts decreasing that immune system function, and then you really start feeling the effects of deprivation of sleep. And I know today what we're going to do is we're going to give you some strategies that can help you have a better night's sleep. How many people at home want to have a better night's sleep? I can see hands going up around the world right now, and we're here to help you and make a difference in your life.
So we're going to talk about just a variety of topics, but before I get really into it per se, I like to have individuals go to bed by 10 o'clock. Those hours between 10 and midnight are very important hours that your body uses for restoration. Anytime after midnight can throw your whole system off, and it affects a system called the circadian rhythm. That, in other words, there's just these natural flows of cortisone that's inside of your body. I want you to think about your plan, your strategy for sleeping, and you really want to reduce the amount of activity, the electronic activity, before you go to bed at night. That means you're going to minimize your TV and your computer work, and you're just going to pursue restful, peaceful sleep. Dr. Anthony.
So one of the things I know that Dr. Bob just mentioned, it comes to what this is right here. This is those electronic devices that so many of you guys are glued to, that are sitting right next to you on the couch, or you could even be on that device. But what ends up taking place is if you're using that, just the brightness from the screen later at nighttime will affect your hormonal and your sleep system. So even the noise from a television that many of you like to use when you're going to sleep can affect your normal sleep cycle. So we encourage all people to really get rid of electronic usage after 9 p.m. and really transition something that's like more of a reading material. Because what takes place when you read a book, your eyes move back and forth, and that back and forth pattern starts to release some sleep hormones that help you actually get to sleep. So I would encourage you maybe to read something relaxing and not the latest hit novel that's going to keep you up late at nighttime, but something that you can experience that's going to be nice, slow, and deliberate that can help put you to sleep. Another area that's important when it comes to sleep is developing a sleep routine and a pattern. Most of you that are out there, what ends up happening is, well, you know, I had X, Y, and Z to do, and I got to bed tonight at 10:15, and then the next day it's 11, and there isn't a consistent pattern. Our bodies get used to patterns, and what ends up happening is sleep is such an important pattern that when we're out of a routine, it can throw you off for a week, a month, sometimes even a year when we're outside of that pattern. So develop a routine and work on getting rid of the electronics. So I want to revisit here for a moment the electronics. One of the things that we found, especially Dr. Casen and my work with pregnancy and pediatrics, is kids now that are developing conditions like ADHD or sensory processing disorder or just acting out, a lot of it has to do with the wave patterns that are existing now with electronics. So if you were to just be able to see what Wi-Fi communication looks like or cellular data, all of that is being transmitted in the air, and our bodies are being exposed to that, just like microwaves. So I would encourage you, if you do have electronic devices, don't put them right next to your head when you're sleeping. You want to have them away from you or even in a different room, because they can impact what's taking place in as far as your body on the inside. So there's a few other areas that we're going to discuss.
Well, I was just thinking, this is not even a part of where is your bed at in the bedroom, and then where does the electricity come into your house? I've learned this from a friend of mine, is that when their child's head, the bed was right by where the electricity came in the house, it interfered with that child's activity. So that's just another little thought and something you want to be aware of. And this is an alarm clock. And what we'd like to do in our own household, especially when I travel, I take tape with myself, black tape. And say, why do you do that for? I cover up those little lights. Because see, that light, even the light that's on a hotel room where you look out the little peephole, your brain, there's a part of your brain called the pineal gland, and that pineal gland is a part of your whole nervous system, and it makes skin pigment. That gets activated, that could interfere with restful, peaceful sleep. We want all the lights out in your room so your brain is not going to be any kind of activity at all. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back. Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Anthony, and Casen DeMaria. Welcome you once again to our Half Hour of Health program. And we have been discussing sleep. So many of you have sleep deprivation. It's so important to get restful, peaceful sleep. And I think what's so significant is the fact that people will blow sleep off and or they'll take a medication. And from what my understanding is, when you take any kind of medication, it does not give you the same genuine, real, calm, relaxing sleep. And I mentioned this in the first segment. You want to wake up in the morning hungry. That is almost a guaranteed way to find out if your body's making enough growth hormone. You don't have to buy growth hormone tablets. You just need to get restful, peaceful sleep.
I want you to go into your bedroom and look at your mattress and your pillows. If your mattress is soft and you know that it's not supporting you, it may be time to get a new mattress. Commonly between 5 and 7 years old, that's what you want to be looking at. Maybe it's time to look for a firmer mattress, and you want to make sure that your pillows are providing that proper support for your neck. We encourage people to look at cervical pillows, which you may have seen these. I know that specifically Tempur-Pedic has a great one, and also Therapeutica, and you're able to look those up online. And this helps to support the natural curves of your spine. You want to be sleeping on your back or also on your side. We encourage you to lay on your right side because of how the blood flows up through the legs and on your way to the heart to take that pressure off. The worst sleeping position that you could be in is on your stomach. So you think about those natural curves of your spine. When you're laying on your stomach, on your belly, you're taking out those natural curves of your spine. So it might be something simple like putting a pillow between your knees to make sure that you're laying it on your side or on your back, but you do not want to be sleeping on your stomach.
Another area that will help benefit you as far as sleeping better is making sure that you exercise. One of the things that's funny, people say, well, I'm too tired to exercise, so I'm not going to. But what you don't realize is if you're not exercising on a regular basis, you're not going to have the sleep that you want to have. Exercise is so important to getting restful, peaceful sleep because it helps get rid of excess energy that be going on inside of your body, and that you can make sure that you can fall asleep and stay asleep easier. One of the things that we do not encourage, however, is to exercise after dinner time, because what ends up happening is you're getting your body in an excitatory state, which will affect your hormonal sleep system when it comes to getting good sleep. So another common thing we hear with people is, I have a hard time falling asleep at night, but I was in the gym for 2 hours from 7 to 9. Well, it's like, duh, you know, just stop exercising so late at nighttime because it can have an effect on you. But what we encourage you to do is to start your day out with some sort of exercise because it helps to jumpstart your body, and it'll also give you long-lasting energy throughout the day.
You know, it's kind of interesting, Dr. Anthony, when it comes to exercising. Also, exercise can increase your cortisol level in your adrenal glands, keeping your body going, and actually could cannibalize your muscles. Another area that most of you are dealing with is stress. And see, when you have stress, I know you might not get the same restful, peaceful sleep. And what stress does and how it really impacts you as a system, it causes an acid pH, acid being like vinegar and baking soda being like alkaline. Well, what the acid state does to you is it literally draws away from you minerals. And some of those minerals happens to be zinc, happens to be B vitamins. And in the human body, if you have too much copper, you're the individual that's going to go to bed and it's 10 o'clock at night and you're laying there and your eyes are closed and your head is going 100 million miles an hour. Copper will do that to you. Well, what depletes copper from the body? Wheat and soy. Wheat and soy will deplete the body of zinc, raising your copper level up. And in our practice, we have something called the aqueous zinc test. And if you're watching us online right now, and I encourage you, is go to our website, Drugless Doctor, druglessdoctors.com, go to the word blog, print out the notes. Aqueous zinc, you could purchase that from our website, and you take a capful of that, and you should taste something. If you taste water or there's no taste at all, it's a body signal to us that you may have a zinc deficiency. And if you have a zinc deficiency, you're going to have too much copper. And if you have too much copper, your brain's going to be going 100 gazillion miles an hour.
So another area that we want to make sure that we're working on avoiding some aspects when it comes to getting good sleep is you don't want to be consuming caffeine late at nighttime because caffeine can throw off your sleep cycle. Another area that's common to have some sleep challenges are the people that are consuming alcohol before bedtime. A lot of times that'll throw off your blood sugar levels and it'll cause you to wake up in the middle of the night. So we encourage people to not do caffeine, alcohol, or a high amount of sugar because those can cause some sleep challenges. Especially at nighttime, what will end up happening is you might even wake up in the morning with a headache, all because of how that sugar is. So another thing that I want you to avoid is something that comes in a little red bottle like this. What happens is these energy shots can really mess up your system because of the additives that are in there. And now this might shock some of you at home, but you can Google this on the internet. 13 people died last year from consuming too much 5-hour energy drinks. So it's really interesting. That's impactful because you shouldn't be doing anything to trick your body because of the symptoms that are going on. So if your body's saying, oh, I'm exhausted, but I just need another red bottle to help get me through the day, that's tricking your body from doing what it's supposed to. And it's also going to be affecting your sleep cycle. So I'd encourage you not to do something like that and get to the root of the issue when it comes to our sleep.
Also, when we're sleeping, you might be going to bed at the proper time and thinking that you're getting that 8 hours of sleep, but you could be waking up in the middle of the night, especially waking up around 3 in the morning. That is could be something that is coming from blood sugar stress. Commonly in our practice, we see people with blood sugar stress that are doing a lot of juicing and smoothies and things like that that are spiking the insulin level rather than having it level out. So for ourselves and in our practice, we would tell people we wouldn't juice more than 8 ounces in a day, and especially you want to be doing things like greens and protein rather than the fruits and the sugars. Something else that we see with people with blood sugar stress is they wake up in the morning with a headache. Commonly that is from, again, those insulin spikes. So something that you could do for a snack before you go to bed, you could saute some green vegetables to help so that you're not bottoming out in the middle of the night with that blood sugar. Also, we do have something in our practice called Bioglycozyme Forte, and this helps with adrenal support, but also with blood sugar stress. This is a great multi-mineral supplement to help support the blood sugar.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a lot of information. And we're going to have one more segment. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Anthony, and Casen DeMaria. Welcome you once again to our Half Hour Health program. And we've been discussing sleep, and there's a lot of information I know that'll make an impact on your life. And if you are waking up about 3 o'clock in the morning is what we have determined, it could be from morning juicing, as Dr. Casen has spoken about. We have individuals that their sleeping is doing really good, and all of a sudden they read a book. They're supposed to be juicing like 2 gallons of juice every day. Then all of a sudden at 3 o'clock in the morning, the blood sugar drops and they wake up. And then we have individuals who do wake up in the morning with a morning headache, and what we have found from our experience, they may be dealing with subpar thyroid function. You may even be on levothyroxine or Synthroid. Not that we have the license to take you off those medications, but it could be an issue. Dr. Anthony was discussing caffeine, and we're talking about these energy drinks, and of course it could be coffee, there could be these 5-hour drinks, but this soda has caffeine in it. So if you're going to bed at night and beforehand you take a soda or two, you could be having a caffeine issue, but this is the liver, and the liver is located right here in your body, and what we have learned also from our experience is when somebody has compromised liver function, and let's say they have a coffee at 4 o'clock at night and they can't fall asleep, the problem is not necessarily always the coffee. It could be that you have liver compromise and your liver is not able to process the caffeine properly. Our goal, our real goal, is to help you determine where your area of weakness is to make a difference in your life.
Another area when it comes to blood sugar stress is some people might have an issue with having highs and lows throughout the day, and they're getting really nasty every 2 hours because their blood sugar is bottoming out. So one of the things that we encourage those people to do is to do something called Bio3BG. What Bio3BG is a source of B vitamins, and you take 2 every waking hour, and we'd encourage you to do that for at least a month to help stabilize your cravings for sugar and those blood sugar levels. Also, some people that might have some challenges with fibromyalgia would really benefit from doing something like Bio3BG. Another area when it comes to sleep, and we don't often talk about this, is parasites. So you may grind your teeth at nighttime, and that could be a parasite challenge. We commonly see parasites in people that have cats, that consume wild game, that do sushi on a regular basis. come in contact with animals that aren't domesticated. And we see some really intense challenges with these type of people, and it can really affect your sleep. Especially a good indicator that you might have a parasite challenge is it could be a full moon and you start waking up in the middle of the night. It's because of the activity of the parasites. So if you think that you have a parasite challenge, I'd encourage you to take some necessary steps in order to help promote healing inside your body. One of the products that we use is called Agricept L. You could do between 5 and 10 drops in a glass of water every day. Or you could do something that we utilize in our office called ADP. And what ADP is an emulsified oregano that helps to get your gut function back on track and get rid of any parasite activity that could be affecting your sleep.
Something that's really interesting about the parasites is you could be waking up at 1 or 2 in the morning, and that is when they are really active in your system. And what people don't realize are parasites, they're eating the minerals that you're eating for helping to grow these healthy tissues, and they're taking them out of your body. It's so common today that people have parasites, and it's so funny when we ask people, do you grind your teeth at night? And they say, no, I have a mouth guard. So if people have mouth guards, and they could be also grinding their teeth at night and not even realize that they're wearing a mouth guard or a retainer due to, they think it's TMJ, but it's really coming from parasites. Dr. Bob, did you want to share that cutting edge information about the gamers?
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting because I'm kind of chuckling to myself and I'm thinking, oh man, these people that are watching us right now have to think that we are way out in left field. But I had this young boy who came into my office, and he was in the 6th grade, and they kicked him out of school because he had Asperger's. He didn't have Asperger's. This young man was a genius. Now he's a sophomore in college. Awesome. We treat the whole family. And we are talking recently, like what Dr. Casen just said, about Toxoplasmosis gondii. This was actually in a major business newspaper about cats and parasites. So we are having this discussion, and he shared something with me that is phenomenal. He said, Dr. Bob, I know about Toxoplasmosis gondii. Gamers are slower when they have this condition. I looked at him like, how did you know that? Well, he has done research on it, and he's a college student, he's a gamer. They're 30% slower. In other words, toxoplasmosis is a parasitic challenge that's common in individuals who have cats. And what we have learned from our practice that people who have parasites have major health problems all the way around in their system. So you could do some search on that. You may make the wise decision to come into our office so we could do the appropriate testing and make any kind of recommendation. We have a couple of nutrients here that we use in our practice. We have found is that your adrenal glands are exhausted. Probably the biggest epidemic and the challenge in our society today are there a set of glands located on top of your kidneys called the adrenals. The adrenal glands, when exhausted, will literally stymie, prevent, handcuff you from having restful, peaceful sleep. So we use a product called Cytozyme AD, which is a neonatal glandular product, and another product called ADHS, which is an adaptogen that helps slow your body down so you can get that restful, peaceful restoration sleep.
Also, with the adrenal glands, commonly people, their minerals, they could be having leg cramps at night and not sleeping well, having heart palpitations, and not realize that this is a lack of minerals in their body. Something that we use commonly in our practice is calcium, magnesium, especially with athletes and other people that are having leg cramps at night or even when they're exercising. This is a need for minerals in your body, and this is something that personally can help with sleep. If you take 4 before bedtime, it helps to work on replenishing those minerals for your natural sleep cycle.
You know, what's really interesting too is because we had several ladies here recently that started doing the calcium, the CAMG before bed, and they came in the office with big smiles on their faces and said, I am so glad that you said that,